What's up, guys? Matthew Ramos here, owner, head strength and conditioning coach at Ramos Athletic Conditioning Center. It is my privilege to go through this workout today to show you how chains can actually benefit in regards to strength, speed, explosiveness, injury prevention, and power potential. We have 4 exercises showing you all the different ways chains can be modified and used. Low incline kabuki bench press, some modified L sit-ups, chain flies with a very special technique, and trap bar deads for all my athletes that are trying to get explosive. You will gain discipline to strength, speed, explosiveness, landmine one-legged RDL, and you have to be consistent about it. So when using chains, okay, I always like to use the trick and to set up one side first. And most people try to set the other one up and they're sitting here going back and forth and trying to look to see if they're on the same page. It's very simple to just set up both chains at the same time. So you come over, make sure they're lined up correctly, and then you go ahead, take the bigger carabiner, make sure it's on the same, and now boom, they're perfectly matched. The difference and the reason why that's so important is if you go ahead and one slightly higher, the chains can be completely different weight on both sides, and that's extremely dangerous. So we want to keep safety as a priority. So now you take the chain off, move it over. I like to do a little bit different. This time I'm going to use a Bosu ball, half Bosu ball, rather than just the bench. The beauty of the chains, especially in this particular movement, is that as I go down with the bar, the weight is going to actually be less at the most vulnerable position of my shoulders. So again, good lock, elbows forward, right? Bringing that weight down nice and easy. 3, 2, 1, pause, press up. So again, you see, as the weight comes down, it's extremely light at the bottom. As I press up, the chain links come off the floor and it gets heavier as I press up. If I have a person who's trying to jump higher or be more explosive and we do a squat, if they do a traditional barbell squat, okay, at the bucket, they're extremely hard, okay? This is that starting strength we talked about. But as they get up and they come up off that weight and they get out of the bucket, now they're in a quarter rep, and now this is much easier. So the starting strength was immense here, but now as they try to get that max force, there's these little built-in safety mechanisms in our body that are gonna stop us from giving maximal force because it's trying to protect us. The chains, however, now are put on the sides of the barbell. So at the bottom of that squat, you manipulate that starting strength, and as you come up, now you're in your even stronger state with the quarter squat, but now those chains are up off the floor, and now you maintain that acceleration, and now that maximal force is now gonna come up. All right, guys, I wanted to give you another cool exercise, show you and reinforce how practical and how you can manipulate these chains to help you out in the weight room. This particular exercise is a variation of what's called an L-sit pull-up. I'm gonna come down, have a bench in front of me, make sure I'm positioned right, everything is lined up, angle grip 90s, thank you very much. I'm gonna drape the chains over my stomach, more specifically my hips. I'm gonna put my feet up on the bench, and I'm truly gonna isolate my lats. So I'm gonna take out that momentum that most people do with pull-ups. And now, the chains you're going to see are gonna come up off the floor as I reach for my peak contraction of the movement. Core nice and tight, shoulders down, chest up. Nice eccentric down, controlled. Never lose that scapular hold. The problem that I see a lot with people with chains is that they just use them for an external load. They throw them on their shoulders when they want to do dips. They want to look cool when they do pull-ups. They're phenomenal for that purpose, but they're so very versatile that you're just limiting yourself if that's all you use them for. All right, guys, a new variation on a great exercise called chain flies, okay? They are bunched on the bottom. There is absolutely no weight at this moment in time. As he brings it up, the chains come up off the floor, and now he's lifting a more maximal load. I don't want you to actually bench press at the top. It's a fly, okay? I want you to pay attention to a particular component of the movement though, which is when I actually move from a neutral grip in the eccentric and I pronate my hand as I come for the concentric and get a better squeeze on the top of my, what's called your clavicular head of your pectoral muscle. These little specific attention to detail aspects of these movements are game changers in regards to making sure that these movements do what they're supposed to do for you. All right, guys, so we have trap bar deadlifts with the chains. Again, we've been hinting upon the mechanical advantage and the leverage that is created once you get past a certain point in a movement. So now you'll see, as the bar comes up off the floor, the chains are coming up as well. So at the top of my rep, that quarter top rep, when I'm pretty much strong enough for the 225, the added chains will increase my need to fire more neurons and muscle fibers. So now at the bottom, it's 225 pounds. Each chain is approximately 30 pounds. So at the top, at the peak of that movement, 225 plus 120, you do the math. You can see the vast difference between the top portion of the rep and the weight used compared to the actual start weight. So now when we talked about the injury, okay, here's my guy who can't lift and gave up deadlifts forever because of his lower back. We now get him deadlifting a certain amount at the bottom, and as he gets stronger, like we referred to in the squat, out of the bucket, he's extremely weak, but as he comes up and now gets to that quarter range, his mechanical advantage takes over, his leverage takes over, and now he can handle more load. So thus, chains again, extremely beneficial, extremely versatile.